And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie. Odie, you need to get a little bit over here.
So trying to push me out.
So everybody will see what you look like there. We got to have both angles of Odie there.
Yeah, that's enough.
63 is where we wait for a high of 84 with live mics now, where you can actually hear the forecast.
Hey, there's things moving up and down.
Yeah. I sneezed while ago to hit the button, and everything went off.
Yeah.
So glad you're here. Hey, we hear the Meridian Police Department got to do, well, they got to do a jog. They got to do some jogging this morning, Odie.
Jogging?
Sure they did.
Well, it's nice outside.
Sure
it's not
was.
too hot.
But it was all for the all wrong reason. Somebody was trying to take something that wasn't theirs.
Oh.
As we go to this would happen right next door to the police department.
Well, that
Car
was real
burglary. Doors were open, trunks were open as someone was making their way, and the police department arrived, and they would commence to running. They ran all the way toward B Street. Now, there were two people. The Meridian Police Department did take at least one person into custody. Good job on that.
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean, criminals aren't real smart, but you'd think they do it somewhere more inconspicuous than
Next door to the police department.
Yeah. But hey, good job, MPD.
Where did I see it? In Memphis, Tennessee this weekend, the car dealership, where they took the tires off the cars at the dealership. What was that, Texas a few years ago, where they rented a U-Haul and completely every car on the lot, they took all the tires off of it? That would end up being thousands upon thousands.
Yeah.
And speaking of criminals and things of that nature, we're going to talk to the Supreme Court nominee of Mississippi coming up. She's in the House with the state laws. It shapes America, Mississippi, as to what goes on. You got to have a strong voice in there. We're going to hear her opinions of what needs to happen for the great state of Mississippi and what we need to do. Now, one of the big things, and let's go ahead and get into this before we talk to Jennifer, because I want to be very clear of what I know where we are. There was a body found yesterday morning in Meridian. This would be near Highland Park. You could stand in the street and see Highland Park, 41st Avenue. A body was found on the edge of a yard, the 2100 block there, about 5, 6, 10 feet off the road.
Oh, wow.
Now, I had originally put up that this was most likely going to be a murder. If it does turn out to be a murder, it will be the 12th murder of the year for Meridian. We're waiting to see, as the official word from the Meridian Police Department is, this is a death investigation, basically until the crime lab tells us one way or the other. I went ahead and I left what I said up because I called it a murder in the beginning. I want to be very clear that I said that. I don't want anybody to go, oh, he's changing what he said. I left what I put up there. We will see as soon as we get, and it usually takes somewhere around a week and a half to 2 weeks for the information to come back after they get it to the crime lab. We'll find out about this. But here it is, 20th Street, 41st Avenue. Right there, as you'll see behind that police car, is where Highland Park sits. As you turn around, here's where it is. We've got the ambulance on duty. We've got police there. And as I spoke with residents there, very nice folks. Been living there for 35 years. As you'll see right here, here's the street. Here's 21st. Right over down that street is where it would be found. We don't know who or what. I did have a resident come up to me and she said, I think it was around 9:20. She said, I heard a very, very loud gunshot. And she goes, I didn't think much of it. You get kind of used to hearing things in that area.
Well, and that was a question I was going to ask you is, in that area, there has been a lot of gunfire called in.
It has been.
And a lot of it is in that area, correct?
Correct. And so I can see how somebody would go, well, I can't hear it. And Jeff, you got something to say?
Well, one of your commenters on there, I noticed whenever you posted that, they had said that, they had heard gunshots that night, but that's just another night,
Yeah.
Another day, just another Sunday, another Saturday.
And we don't know where this is headed yet, but we hope to find out more about this. And again, the official statement, is saying at this point it's a death investigation until they get back results. I felt pretty strong on what I put, and I'm not. We'll 100% change that should that change when the results come back on this. But if you see anything, some of the cameras in the area got a few things, give that to police so they can help solve this. No names have been released in this case at this point. We don't know who it is. Residents, I think, kind of knew who it was of possibility, but we'll find out more and more about this as it begins. This is a caption from the live video as we were looking there. And again, you can't see anything with this, but in front of that police car often here is where the person would be found. And as you can see, detectives standing around talking near the scene. A sad situation for Meridian. If that comes through, that'll be number 12 to our city.
That's sad for our area. It's sad for anywhere. But right here,
I'd have to look at my numbers, but I think that ties last year's murders already, and it's not even October. So we could have more as this comes on. Some bizarre things that happened. And again, we hope the Meridian Police Department can settle this pretty quickly. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand because it was the same area. I had just settled down and had my think, wow, I'm going to sit down and rest. Then my phone started ringing. Where you at? Need to come out here, 45th Avenue, just off of 8th Street. And it would be almost about 2 blocks away from where the body was found a few hours before that. Oh. Now, it was said that gunshots were heard right before this happened, before the car drove into the house. And with the Scotty Ray Mobile being broke down, I didn't have all my equipment left, my handy-dandy trusty flashlight at home.
You could have lit that scene up for everybody.
Do you know how it is when you get somewhere and you reach where something normally is and it ain't there?
Yeah.
I've been doing that all weekend, but I think we got it fixed. As we go here, here's the car in the home. Look at this. Drove right up in it.
Wow. You imagine watching TV, it's kind of like 3D all over.
And she was. Ooh. And she was not injured. I actually used to work with her daughter, and she said it scared the daylights out of me, and I can see how that would.
Yeah.
It just drove, I lost control, we don't know why, and up in there into the house. There's a long view look of it, looking back at it.
Man.
We'll see what comes of that. Meridian
Didn't even
Fire
ring the
Department.
doorbell. They tried to walk right on.
No, that's what you call DoorDash. In a hurry.
But now look, when you get this Scotty Ray Mobile worked on, which is this week, isn't it?
I think I got it back last night.
Oh, okay. Now take your flashlight out of the Coupe de Ville and put it back in the Scotty Ray Mobile.
I have gone all weekend, and nobody knew I've been riding around. I just kind of blended in with the crowd.
They ain't used to seeing it.
So I think we got it going. We got a lot of extra parts in case it doesn't, and we'll be back rolling once again there. Let's see here. Dallas-Fort Worth area joining us. Grand Rising.
Yeah.
Hadn't been to Dallas.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hope it's all going there. And welcome to each and every one of y'all. We got a lot going on this morning. As we said, a nice cool 63. And we're going to talk a little politics next, Odie. You good with that?
Yeah, let's go take that in there. We got elections coming up. So
November.
We need to be knowledgeable on who's running and
what all does the Supreme Court decide on? We'll ask a few questions because I know you hear it and you go, well, what does that job really entail? What do you do? What do you hear? We'll find all that next. We'll be right back with Jennifer Branding as she takes it to the polls come November.
Yep.
We're knocking out high car payments by bringing back the working man special. $299 down, $299 a month. Lee Allen for Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Meridian. Take a look. A 21 Chevy Spark, a 22 Kia Soul, an 18 Chevy Equinox. $299 down, only $299 a month. These and more at Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, the working man special. $299 down, $299 a month.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Bittersweet Crossroads in downtown Enterprise has new hours for summer, Monday through Friday, 8 until 5 p.m. and Saturday, 9 until 5 p.m. A great sandwich shop where they make their own honey mustard. Come try a sub or wrap today. They make some of the best homemade frozen custard with hot fudge drizzle. For specialty coffee, frozen custard, sandwiches, and ice cream, it's Bittersweet Crossroads, Highway 11 South, downtown Enterprise, 601-453-4009. We have breaking news that there might be a moon pie with ice cream in it. Hold the presses.
We're going to go find some moon pie ice cream.
That does sound good.
A moon pie. All right.
So what do you like better,
Ice
the
cream?
chocolate or the little yellow ones?
The banana.
Banana?
Yellow, yeah.
How about y'all?
Banana.
I'm kind of a chocolate girl.
Okay, I'm going banana. Boy, I really like it. So you like the chocolate.
I do.
A little bit. You have to be careful with chocolate because it can be bitter. And whoever, depends on who's working at that factory is how it turns out. That's just me, though.
Whether they're mad or not.
And do they still do this? Do y'all remember as kids, there was always like the band, I think, done it, World's Finest Chocolate for $1. Y'all
they
remember
still
that?
do it.
So
I think it's $2 now, though.
Is it
and
two-
it's a smaller candy bar.
I bet it's more than $2 now.
It's a half of a candy bar, half of what it was when we were growing up.
Oh, it's smaller?
Yeah, and
Oh.
it costs more.
Well, then, there you go.
But,
Hey, I
yeah.
bought a part for the old Tahoe to make it, and the last one I bought like 4 years ago was I think I paid $149. Exact same part for another vehicle, but same part. It cost $402 when I bought it last night.
What was it?
Fuel pump. $402,
Wow.
and that's not installed. That's the part.
All right, so here we go.
What we got? What we got?
Chocolate moon pie ice cream.
Breaking.
Yeah, and it's made into a sandwich.
Like an ice cream sandwich?
Yeah, North Star moon pie ice cream sandwich comes 6 to a box. Well then,
Where are the ice cream experts? Because I need to make a complaint. Every time that I go to find the ice cream sandwiches, all you can find is the chocolate ones, and you can't find the.
that's because everybody's eating all the vanilla ones.
They're gone. You know, like the vanilla wafer top. You
Yeah,
can't
it's
get
my
them.
favorite kind.
They just taste better, my opinion.
I prefer the chocolate.
Oh, chocolate girl
Yeah.
over here.
Now, y'all don't run out and buy them because I need to get at least 6 boxes myself. But they've got the Nutter Butters.
Those little.
The long it usually comes 2 in a pack, and they've always been chocolate.
Okay.
Oh, they've got some that's covered with the white icing. Them dudes is good. We bought 6 boxes last year. And
That's a problem, Odie. You need to check in.
well,
I know that y'all thought you were going to hear about politics, but ice cream is a little bit more important at the
We
moment.
got on dessert.
You got to go where you got to go.
fat boy like dessert.
Jennifer Branning is with us, and you are running for the Supreme Court of the
Yes.
state of Mississippi.
That's right.
Now, you've been hitting every road, every trail.
We're attempting to do that. The Supreme Court district that I'm running in, which is the Central District, consists of 22 counties.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of ground to cover, but I've got a great team. And really, February the 1st is the day that I qualified to run for this office, and that is the day I started campaigning. So we have been making our way back and forth through the district, trying to see voters to get the message out. We need to make sure in this election that we are electing a constitutional conservative to the Mississippi Supreme Court, and all that means is a judge that will follow the law. It's not rocket science. It's not hard. We just need someone there that's going to call balls and strikes and not have an agenda.
And there's a lot of people in politics now that have the agenda. We all know that. Now, Jeff, you've known her for quite some time. This is your senator. Everybody that's tuning in going, who's the guy in the blue over there? He's your senator, and, well, you've been with her a lot.
Well, there's some things that she can and can't answer because she is a candidate for judge. That's
Right.
why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
You're the
But-
man to help
But
out.
also, just to say, hey, she is conservative. Check out her voting record. There's a lot of people over there, I hate to say this, they kind of go by whatever the title of the bill says, and a few of us actually read the bills. She's one of those that'll read it into the bills, make sure that what they actually do. So she'll take this job seriously. And as far as people that are in there now, I can tell you our district, the 22 counties, which let's just say for your listening, if you're in Lauderdale County, Kemper County, Neshoba County, Newton County, Scott County, I hate that our Clark County folks can't vote in this. I wish that they could.
So they're not included in it.
They're not included in this. But hey, Clark County residents, if you know somebody north of you, make sure you tell them to go vote, because this is an important election. Because what we have is we have a liberal judge in there right now that ask me off air. I can tell you a lot of things about them. I can tell you we've got a conservative candidate right here, and that's what we need. This election, Mississippi's going to go for Trump. I mean, we're going to turn out and we're going to put Trump in. It's the down ballot races that are really crucial. This one, I'm going to say, is the most crucial on our ballot in Mississippi.
Well, it decides a lot of things that goes on in our state. When something is contested, you often hear it's headed to the Supreme Court of Mississippi. And that's where it would fall upon. And how many of you, is it 12, 9? How
There's
many?
9.
9, just
nine
like
Supreme
the
Court justices, and so there are 3 districts across the state, northern, central, and southern. 3 justices are elected from each district.
Okay, well, so I didn't realize how that works.
Yeah.
So we've got 9. Very important. If you were to have to stand before this and wait for a decision, to have someone that's going to be down the middle, and just how it is. And that's what we need, is someone with good thinking to handle these things. The election is November 2nd?
5th.
November
5th, okay.
Yep.
36 days from today. I'm not sure who's counting. Maybe I am.
Yeah.
5 weeks from tomorrow.
Now, what kind of cases do you see at the Supreme Court? What type of cases normally does the
So
Supreme
that's a
Court
good
take?
question. So the Supreme Court is the highest appellate court in our state. They hear appeals from all courts. Chancery court, circuit court, the county court system, so anything from criminal appeals to family law matters. In fact, almost half the cases that come up before the Mississippi Supreme Court deal with family and children matters. And so there's only one woman that currently serves on the Supreme Court, and I think me being a wife and a mother gives me also a unique perspective to bring to the court.
Oh, a mama, she's got eyes in the back of her head. We all know that.
Mama with boys.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've seen it all.
Oh, yeah, I'm a boy mom, and if you've seen my commercial that deals with the football, you will see that I truly do have eyes in the back of my head.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I agree with that. And let me, because this has been some years ago, and I don't remember how it all came about. Years ago, when prayer was taken out of the schools of Mississippi, was that presented at that time to members of the Mississippi Supreme Court, or did that go on a federal level? Where did that lie? How did it get taken out of our schools?
That's
Do you
more of
know?
a federal issue because there's so much federal funding that comes into our public school system. So certainly if that were just ultimately up to your state legislature, I think the result would be much different. But just keep in mind, as long as the students lead prayer, that's a different thing. It just can't be faculty led. That's the difference. But it all comes down to the federal funding, so it's certainly not a state court issue.
So that would make sense to where we see all these cases that are on television where a football coach gets in trouble because he led his team in prayer. That's because of the federal money.
That's right.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Now, let's keep in mind, though, that these courts change. So just like with Roe v. Wade, you had one decision, court changes. Well, right now, maybe in Mississippi that'd be okay, but we need to make sure that we keep it that way. We need to make sure that we have a more conservative Supreme Court now than what we had, and maybe we can one day fight for that. That's what we need. That's what people are really wanting out there. People that are fighters, not people that are just going to lay down, but actually take these cases on. And that's what happened with Roe v. Wade. And Senator Branning was there in the legislature that ended up taking that back to the Supreme Court that overturned Roe v. Wade. So big applause to her and other members of the legislature. That was before my time, but that's what it is. You got to fight, and that's what she did, and that's what we've got to continue to do.
Dude, and I'm going to ask something that I don't know the answer, and Jeff, you may have to answer this. We have someone that, in the court system, and I'm just talking out loud, we have someone who commits a horrible crime in the state of Mississippi. Of like murder, to where they hurt someone, they kill someone. This is fought all the way to the Supreme Court. Does the Supreme Court decide upon sentencing of what can happen in the state of Mississippi and executions? Do y'all monitor that, or is that in the lower courts where all that is decided as to what can be done as the sentencing of a person that is a habitual offender? Do y'all make the decisions?
So that's at the trial court level. Now, certainly if the person that was convicted and sentenced is aggrieved by that and doesn't agree, then they can certainly appeal that up to the higher courts to take a second look. But the initial sentencing happens at the trial court level, which is your circuit court. for
Right, and
crimes.
let me ask you, Jeff, who sets the sentencing for it? In the state of Mississippi? Like if we go, all right, murder, it can range from 5 to 20 and life. Who sets that up? Does that come
That's
from
the
Senate?
judge. In order that's going to be worked out. You've got people that'll plea, and then you've got people that try to fight it, and so it's between the DA, between the judge, and I mean ultimately it's the judge. Now life and death, that's by a jury still, right? Yeah, so that's by a jury.
We get so many questions on that in a day's time when we're out and about of who made that decision, how did that come about, when it gets on, and I just want.
And there's a lot of plea deals, so you have to remember that, because a lot of times there'll be there's a bigger fish out there. A lot of times,
right.
And so if that person is willing to talk,
Then you get a plea.
Then you get a plea, and to go after that bigger fish, and it's a big deal. And when you're willing to call out that bigger fish, you're basically putting a hit out on your life doing that. And so that's why you may see a reduced amount of sentencing if someone's willing to talk.
Makes sense. We got more coming up as we'll talk to Jennifer. Is this morning is flying?
Golly, already, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be right back. We got more questions for. If you've got a question that's been in the back of your mind, feel free to make a comment. We'll ask that for you on your behalf. More coming up with Jennifer Branning as she makes her bid for Supreme Court in Mississippi. We'll be right back. J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. They carry the Nixon tire with free roadside hazard service, along with high-tread used tires. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
Working on a big project? Need reliable equipment? Paris Tractor has you covered. From skid steers to excavators, tractors to trenchers, we have top quality equipment for rent on a project-to-project basis. All our equipment is expertly maintained for peak performance, ensuring you get the job done right. Our team is here to help you choose the perfect machinery for your needs with flexible rental terms to fit any project. Call us or visit ParisRents.com to rent your equipment today. Come see us at Paris Tractor, where we're more than a tractor store.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
Welcome back. You didn't happen to see a flying saucer Saturday night, did you?
No, I missed it. Did we have one?
It was reports of something flying at 130 miles an hour down Airport Boulevard. Some call it Highway 19, some call it Highway 11, but right there past structural steel, right along in there, whoof, we went by.
They were late.
It was a motorcycle. Don't be running from the county sheriff's.
Oh, is that the one that they got?
Yep, he's in cuffs. And as we look at that, and again, it was not really a chase because he took off and it went woof, and he was gone. They knew who it was, and they would make the arrest safely. A little bit later on, they went to the house there and they made the arrest. And, you know, it's going to be some serious charges as we look at what Ward told us on this. Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department attempted to make a traffic stop. It was a motorcycle traffic violation there on 19. Instead of stopping, he fled. After several minutes, the deputies lost sight. We didn't have a chance of seeing it.
No.
Based upon it, they knew who it was. His name was Daniel Combs. He was picked up at his residence. His bond is set at $25,837. Felony, fleeing, eluding, and various. The word that really gets you there is that fleeing.
Felony.
That ain't good.
No.
How do they determine that amount? What
That's
a
a
random
good-
number.
Yeah.
That
That's
must
a
have
good
been a
question.
sandwich maker that decided that number. Who knows?
And 52 cents. I mean, come on.
Now, was it south of I-20?
South of I-20.
That's Highway 11. That's
Yeah.
not Highway 19.
Yeah, Highway 11. It started on 19, though.
I will give you that. But once you get to that interstate, that's Highway 11.
Highway 11. And again, y'all, that is the biggest confusing thing of where's the firewall? Well, it could be. And then Highway 11 and 80, if you try to find an address there, you better put in Highway 11 because you ain't going to get it.
11 and 80 don't work.
No, it will not pull up anything. I've tried to do that before.
Well, you got Highway 11, Highway 11 and 80, Highway 80.
That's east.
Highway.
Yeah.
It's east. East, simple.
But 11 is the only way I've ever been able to look up an address and it show me where to go. It gets confusing out there. As we get ready for the election, absentee. Boy, it's if you're going to be out of town, that's important to go and get this done, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, it is. And so absentee voting is now available, has been for the last week or so. And from what I'm hearing from the circuit clerks in the district, we're seeing a lot of people take advantage of that. If you're over the age of 65 or you're going to be out of town on election day, and there's a few more excuses that fall under the statute, but check with the circuit clerk. We need people to go ahead and vote. If they fall under one of those exceptions for absentee voting, it's very important, critically important, that we get every single person to the polls for this election.
Now, as long as I've been talking about elections, I didn't realize that just for being 65 you could go vote early, so you can.
That's right. So let me be an advocate for Donna Jill because she will be mad at me if I don't do this, okay? It's easier to vote at the precinct than it is at the courthouse, but check your schedule. November the 5th. Remember the 5th of November, all right? And then we will I'm guessing that there's a good chance that we have a runoff for this election. So there's 5 candidates. If no candidate receives 50% plus one or more, then the top 2 vote getters will go to a runoff for the first time ever 4 weeks after Election Day. So it used to be 3 weeks. The law was changed to 4 weeks. So that's going to be on November the 26th. So check your calendar again on November 26th. That's the week of Thanksgiving. Have a plan. And if you're going to be out of town, if you know somebody that's disabled that can't get out of their house, check with the circuit clerk's office and make sure you vote.
Now, here's something that I hope that you can answer this. I'm going to put you on the spot, but this is very important to people. Where do they go and vote absentee at this time? Are they in the new courthouse, or do they still go to the old courthouse?
You're talking in Lauderdale County.
In Lauderdale County, yes.
So let me back up. The 4 week starts next year. We're still at 3 weeks this year.
Right. We did pass that law this year.
Yeah, we passed it this year, but it goes into effect next year. Yes. Sorry about that. But the absentee voting is at the old courthouse. Okay. They're on 5th Street, in between 5th and 6th Street, across from the annex building, across from the jail. So that's where voting is. The voting is every business day from 8 to 5, and then the 2 Saturdays prior to the election from 8 to noon. And these doors are on auto locks, so just know if you get there at 5 o'clock, it's going to be locked. There's no way to get in. You can get out, you just can't get in. So be sure to, and all you need is a government-issued photo ID.
Did we ever get an $80,000 door for the other courthouse?
Well, it came in at $81,000, and it just was out of reach from what I understand. Now, I hope Donna Jill's not listening.
Boy, we'll watch that closely there. But Donna Jill, you can't miss her. She'll have cookies and things like that. Always does. I enjoy going by and visiting her.
Yeah, you learn a lot from
Yes,
Donna
yes,
Jill.
you do. And again, she's at the old courthouse, which is downtown Meridian. Drop in there if you want to do that. And all the election stuff is still held at the old courthouse.
At the old courthouse, that's right.
It has to be secured.
That's right, and it'll remain there throughout this year. I don't know when that transition will be of when that office will be moved to the new courthouse, but for this election cycle, it will be at the old courthouse.
Pretty important stuff to know there as well.
And still a few days to register to vote, actually. Not long. You need to do it this week. But so if you're not registered to vote inside Lauderdale County, I believe this week is the deadline to do that. And then if you're registered inside the county, you have a while that you can re-register if you moved within the county. But anybody that you know that's going to be 18 by Election Day, even if they're 17 now, they can get on down there and register to vote.
And Jeff, you're probably going to know this more than anybody, as how critical this is about voting. As we look at the population of Lauderdale County, somewhere between 72 to 78,000, isn't it? Somewhere in that pretty close on that. Of that, how many people actually go to the polls and cast their vote out of 72, 78,000?
Yes, I think y'all talked about this last week. It's sad. We only have about 42,000 registered voters on our books.
That's registered.
That's registered.
Doesn't mean they vote.
That doesn't mean they vote, and that doesn't mean that there's a few on there that have moved or have passed away that we don't know about. I think we have a great circuit clerk and a great election commission that keeps clean books. They purge our voter rolls. If you look at other counties, our numbers are great. Our absentee numbers are great. There's no question marks when it comes to elections in Lauderdale County. But of the 42,000, this will be our highest turnout. When I was election commissioner, every presidential election, we'd get around the 60-some-odd% to turn out. What's sad is past the presidential, they drop way down. And so you have the statewide, like for governor, that drops down. Then you get to your midterm. Though sometimes these midterm elections will be in like the teen percentage in Lauderdale County, which in other counties it's worse than that. And so, what I've always advocated for, and y'all talked about this last week, people say, whether you're for me or for the other guy, just get out and vote. I never say that. I want you to go vote, but if there's a race that you are not informed on, skip it. Your ballot will still count. I'm telling you that for this race for Supreme Court, this is the educated and informed candidate. Ask other folks. I can tell you she's got a good voting record. This is who we need to vote for Supreme Court. This is what we need in Mississippi. This is where we really need to fight, is to get conservatives at the bench to help us win, because time and time again we elect good legislators or good congressmen. They pass laws and then they get in front of a judge that wants to weaponize their position, and we go backwards with it. So this is a very important race. You're going to have president, and then you're going to have your senator, you're going to have your congressman, and then I believe the next is going to be your Supreme Court. And so there's a lot of different races on the ballot. The most crucial one is going to be for Supreme Court when we go vote this November the 5th.
And it's also an 8-year term. We want to point that out. It's the longest term of any office that we vote on, state, local, or federal. So
Okay.
extremely important.
8 years.
Yes.
Beth, if you could expand on what your question there is, how can you vote if you cannot walk into the courthouse? So
We got wheelchair access to it.
Oh, right. Yeah,
and I'm hoping that that's what it is, because there is.
That's right. There's a ADA compliant ramp on the north side, on the 6th Street side, and then it's got the button you can hit that has the automatic opening doors. And
So you can get into courthouse.
that's right. And if you need any help, you can call Donna Jill. She'll help you in 601-482-9731. They'll work with you.
Every now and then we see Billy Solly sitting out front on the bench. We'll get Billy to go and open the door.
He's out of town. Right?
Oh, that's right. He
Billy
can
Adam
always-
Calvert doesn't have anything better to do. I'll make sure he gets down there and wheel people
Billy
in.
get to it there.
Yeah.
So much
He's
more,
so uptight.
much more coming up this morning as we move along. Already 7:32. We'll be right back. We'll put some smiles on your face. We'll talk some more politics on the way this morning here at the Scotty Ray Report.
Al's Garden and Gift, a charming place to harvest memories and gifts this fall. Gather a bountiful selection of pumpkins in a variety of colors and sizes. Capture curb appeal. Enhance an entrance or outdoor living space with beautiful mums, snapdragons, hay bales, corn stalks, or a handmade wreath. Make game days and tailgating even more fun with Captain Rodney's. Savory spices, grilling sauces, gourmet jellies, and Mississippi cheese straws too. Come fall in love with all things autumn at Al's Garden and Gift.
2024 Kia Sportages have rates as low as 0.9%. The 2024 Kia Sorento has interest rates as low as 0.9%. We've got 2024 Kia Fortes for as low as $349 a month. $349 a month. Come see us at Kia of Meridian.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. Welcome back as we begin this morning. As each and every day we take a look at history. Jeff, did you study on this?
Study? What do you mean?
Did you read over your history before you come?
Of what? I'm not following.
At school, why start now?
Yeah, that's exactly.
This was 1950, and they call this the mother of country music. What could we be talking about? 1950 it was the first time it was televised. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Grand Ole Opry.
So, yeah. Have you ever been there?
The Ryman Auditorium.
I have. It's wonderful.
It is.
Yes.
I had a blast there. We got to stand there on the stage, and so many famous people have took that stage, and it's just it's pretty cool just to say you've been there in the presence of that. She only had one song. She was a looker. We'll give her that. But Baby, I Lied. Anybody remember her? Deborah Allen, born on this date back in 1953. We were doing our best to get her a clasp for that jacket. She was having trouble there. Bless her heart. You know, she's got no. I ain't gonna say her age. I'll leave that alone. 1952. No one's gonna know this guy's name, but you remember him from Die Hard and every other. He was always plays the criminal.
I remember him more from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
He was in that, wasn't he? You remember this guy? That's him eating the candy bar in Die Hard. Albert Leon? Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it there. But him having a birthday today. This would be one of the most famous celebrities that ever existed. He went down as a legend because of his death. That played a big portion of it. We won't even talk about the name of his car because it had a name that we don't need to pronounce. But he goes down in history as Rebel Without a Cause. James Dean. He passed away. It was a car wreck, if I remember right, wasn't it?
I believe so.
In that car that we won't name. We'll let that be. 1958, we got us a superstar that lives right here, Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Let her get that one.
Marty Stewart. Happy birthday to my friend Marty.
Boy, you think about that. 12-year-old had such talent, and his family knew what he had, and off to the world he went. Mm-hmm. Flat and Scruggs, it would become history after that. And he brings back to his hometown all of what... It is a big deal what he's doing up there, isn't it?
Very big deal. Very big deal. We love Marty. We appreciate what he is bringing back to our mutual hometown. And so I think the sky's the limit for the Marty Stewart Congress of Country Music. If
And
you've
that's
not
a
checked
beautiful
it out,
place.
Yes, we invite everyone to come check it out.
If you haven't been, do so. Philadelphia is where you'll find all that. Marty, ambassador of country music now.
I didn't like this one.
Can you do the voice? Mr. Sheffield. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't even know.
Have you ever had a nanny?
No, I didn't have a nanny.
I'm just asking.
Do you know Buddy Tate?
I figured y'all had a nanny growing up. No. Wouldn't happen there. But Fran, who remembers
Oh yeah,
that?
no, I know that. Yeah.
Mr. Sheffield. What was the name of the show?
I have no idea because I didn't watch it.
Yes, you did. Oh, come on now. Her and her mama and all of them that were...
I couldn't stand that voice.
That New York accent.
Wasn't it the nanny? What was it?
The nanny, I know this. It had what was the guy that the nanny?
The nanny?
That's why I said the nanny.
Yeah, I don't know why I went blank.
Fran
on that.
Fine.
Yeah.
But who was the guy that the butler that was always had those cunning remarks? He was good.
Didn't watch it.
Boy,
Watching the comment.
Like Greg said, I don't get that channel.
1958.
Nigel. I think Nigel was his name.
That's it.
Nigel.
And he was always CC, whoever the assistant.
Thank you, Miss Donna.
Yeah,
Mr.
we
Bob.
appreciate that so much.
Bob,
Or Niles.
all
Niles and
people-
Nigel, we'll let them fight it out.
Don't y'all ever play trivia with Bob. If he was to get on Jeopardy, you get smoked. This guy, Bob is good. Mm-hmm. 1958, this was one of my favorite shows that ever existed. Boy, he just set the example. It was one of the few times, it was pre-Cartwright family to where there was not a mother involved in this. But boy, did he step up and show what a daddy ought to do with the absence of a mother. I said that wrong.
Mother.
The Rifleman premiered on this date. It was Chuck Connors, September 30th of 58. Set up in New Mexico. Boy, was he quick with that gun, wasn't he?
Oh, he was. And would we ever come up with he fired that gun 13 times at the opening
I think
credit?
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Had that big hook on it. I can't do that. 1960, Velma. No. What was her name?
No, that was Betty and Thelma.
Betty and
Wilma.
Flintstones.
Yeah.
Premiered 1960. Can y'all believe it's been that long?
When Dino was just a pup.
Did y'all ever watch that made-for-TV movie about that where they put real humans in there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Had John Goodman in it.
John Goodman is free.
Yeah, had Rosie O'Donnell in it.
Yeah.
I watched it. That was my childhood right there.
She was Betty.
It's been so long, I just can't remember much
And
about it.
that
Was it
dude
good?
that was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was
he like
Barney.
Oh, Barney.
I can hang with this now.
Everybody needs a good friend Barney. This guy was here with us. I want to say this was 2001. We brought him to the Ag Center. They were very young. They were just starting their career in it. And Hillbilly Shoes was their first song that they had just released to radio. And later on, we'd have hits like My Town, and it just kept growing and growing. Eddie Montgomery has a birthday today. Montgomery Gentry from the group there. And I'll just say hard living is the best way to word that. Of course, T. Roy no longer with us. I did not know this till I started putting this. She had a connection to Baywatch whatsoever. I didn't know it.
I didn't know she was in one of the greatest movies of all time either.
Which one of those?
Isn't that down there on the bottom where they were
Under Siege.
Yeah.
Well, I loved what's his name, Mr. Kung Fu Fighter.
Yeah.
You got to turn it around so I can see.
Well, let's pull it up here.
Well,
What's his name there?
the one that did the karate.
Yeah, Mr. Karate Man. Everybody knows this. It'll come to me.
He's not in that picture.
Tommy Lee Jones is in the background there, but this is where they take over the submarine, the ship, and they take out the captain.
What's his name? He's a cop.
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
There it is.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that she was the same girl in the Beverly Hillbillies. I didn't know that.
Okay.
She played Ellie Mae.
Right beside Vern.
I'm saying that Jeff is liking the picture on the right back.
I know. You just pulled that up. You just moved the comments. I didn't know. That was not seen.
Yeah. But she was in Baywatch. Had no idea. And I have to admit, I'm probably one of zero. I have never watched an episode of Baywatch. All they did was run down the beach. Did it have a plot?
I never watched.
I mean, couldn't you watch one clip and say, I saw the whole season?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll leave it at that there.
Now Carl throws it back up again.
1978. She was very what you would call, I think, what America's sweetheart, Olivia Newton-John. Do y'all remember when she had this number one, Summer Nights?
Yeah.
Number one from the soundtrack to that. See that y'all like that a lot. Boy, this speaking of Philadelphia, this lady made her presence in Philadelphia not long ago. She had a number one song in 1978. Dolly, y'all remember Heartbreaker?
There you go.
That's the CD.
There
Well,
she
no, wait a
is.
minute. They didn't have CD covers. That's the 33 album back in the day. Y'all remember? I
Don't
saw an
scratch
ad
it.
the other day for a Cadillac to where it had the record player underneath the dash that you could put that in. Man, how times have changed.
Not on these roads. You can't listen to a record.
1980. Anybody ever been to this town that does?
I've been to that bar. I've had a beer
Y'all
there.
ever been there to Cheers?
Oh, cheers. Everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
1982 is when this debuted, and again, I have to say I've never watched one single episode. Did y'all watch it?
How many spinoffs were there from that?
Bunch,
Yeah.
Frasier,
Yep.
Frasier 2 and 3, but it had several spinoffs from that show.
Mm-hmm.
But I never watched it there. So, but this was I remember watching what's his name from Breaking Bad. What's the attorney's name on it?
Saul. Better Call Saul.
Yeah, Better Call Saul.
Better Saul had saved up his money, and he had just enough money to buy one TV commercial.
Yeah.
And he had everybody standing by. And he picked this particular TV show to play his ad in because he knew at the nursing home they would be watching.
They'd be watching it.
Murder, She Wrote premiered on Today in 1984. And as we remember, digging in that dumpster paid off for Saul, if you ever watched that episode.
Yes, it did.
Well, that was an interesting
That was
TV
a good movie.
It sure
Or
was.
Show, series, what you want to call it.
This woman scares me. It just flat out scares
It's
me
the
with her
hair.
look. It's pointy. And I don't know where it began, but the movie came out today in '88. But she's had a character where she's been on television for forever and a day. Elvira, do y'all remember her? It actually became a movie. I don't think it sold very well.
I don't think I saw the movie.
Yeah, nobody else did either. Yeah. We just thought we'd bring it up for good mentions there. 1989, Carl Perkins actually wrote the song, but it would go number one for the judge today. Let me tell you about Love as it went number one. Y'all remember that? Those white outfits?
I do.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
It's everybody loves the judge. Grandpa.
Tell me about that.
There you go.
good
The
old
last thing that we've got listed today in this day in history, because he broke Conway's record, and to break any record that Conway Twitty ever done is huge. Conway had, as a solo artist, 41 number one hits in a row. This guy would take the title and
George Strait.
There you go. Today it was.
Talking about Conway.
And he would
We
break
got-
it with a Jamie Johnson song, Give It Away, that big four-poster bed.
We got enough pull in here. Maybe we can do something about the state song.
Boy, I wish we could.
Oh gosh, don't get me started on that. you wouldn't think there'd be controversy with that, but yes, there was.
Jeff says he'll write a song. That's what I heard him say.
Conway got the best song.
I'm not going to get into the details, but we were actually, I looked it up. We were two of a few that did not want that song to change.
And what we're talking about is a state song. Charlie Pride should most likely have the state of Mississippi state song with Roll On Mississippi.
Everybody's got their opinion on this. Trust me.
And there is. And then we've got Steve Azar of something that we've never heard. I mean, truthfully, think about this. Steve, he had one hit. One hit
wonder.
And I don't get it. I mean, you think about that. We had Mississippi Man losing. There's many songs as you could choose. But
Right.
Charlie Pride, y'all, a Mississippi cotton picking Delta town. He just went on. Is anybody going to San Antonio? But of course, Roll On Mississippi, that just really described our state. I'm on a soapbox and I can't stop. So somebody help me.
It's like a Scottyism today, isn't it?
What do you remember? What the vote was when that?
I went back and I looked it up because y'all talked about it, and that made me, because it was a COVID year, the year after COVID. I remember it was a crazy time, and there's supposed to be a committee put together to pick a different genres of music where we'd have one of each, and committees never formed together, so they've never had their first meeting. So we're stuck where we are.
It was a topic of lively discussion.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that it would be. And trust me, everybody has their opinion on this.
Well,
and
you even, I guess, get into Paul Lott. I Am the South. A lot of people wanted Paul Lott to have something to do with it.
Right.
That was a toughie there for those who voted.
Well, and they'd bring up a song that Jimmy Rogers would have, and then how am I going to vote against that? You know what I mean?
That's a tough one.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what you had 174 different ways over there in Jackson.
My, oh, my, oh, my. So now we know what goes on behind the scenes there.
Ooh, put it on the ballot.
And y'all wonder how a mosquito flag...
Won't nobody vote for it. Nobody goes to the polls.
But think about it. That's how that mosquito flag got in there. When we were... There it is. I mean, how embarrassing was that?
State flag, state bird, hey, it's a mosquito.
And then somebody wakes up and goes, oops.
Oh, my
It was too late. It done slipped out.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. So much more to come. We're going to talk with Jennifer Moore about what's going on as we get ready for the election in November. How many days? 30?
36.
36 days. We'll be right back. As the seasons change, so do your clothes. And Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Habo shirts, long and short sleeve. Also Hulk shirts. And America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. Welcome back, your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie. We wanted to bring this up yesterday, over the weekend. We had a farming accident. I worded farming because it involved a tractor. We had a man that fell off his tractor that was injured by it. He was run over by his tractor. From what all my understanding is that he's going to be okay. But always scary when a tractor gets you. I can remember bush hogging one time, and watch yourself around kudzu. Those things will wrap around your leg, and you can't get the tractor stopped quick enough without jerking you off. So caution when it comes to this. If you've ever been in the FFA, they've showed you some videos that you never want to see again.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll never forget that. So as let me show you this. We've had several people want to know, how do I find out more about you? Here it is. Look at this.
That's right. That's our Facebook page. Actually, we're running the campaign through my personal Facebook, Jennifer Burridge Branning. So you can find me there and follow me. We try to post just about every campaign stop that we make. So I think it's important that the voters see how hard we're working. I think that how hard a candidate works indicates how hard they work if elected. That's very important. So please follow me there. Those of you that have been asking about signs, thank you for your interest. Please send me a Facebook message. We'll make sure that we do our best to get you signs very quickly. And I believe there was a question about the counties in the district, 22 counties in the central part of Mississippi. There is actually a map on our Facebook page. You can look through posts that we've made over the last month or so, and it details the counties. But here locally, Lauderdale, Newton, Scott, Neshoba, Leake, all of those counties, all the way over to Warren County. We go all the way up to Bolivar County in the Delta and all the way down to Jefferson County. There you go. Thank you. There's the map. And so that ought to give us a visual. And so if you live in one of those counties, certainly we're asking for your vote. If you know people in the district, please make phone calls for us. We think it's very important to get the word out and to get everyone to the polls on November the 5th.
So this includes Vicksburg and due south, these areas there. It does take in that Madison-Rankin County area around Jackson as well.
That's right. All of the metro areas included.
So what does your day-to-day look like? Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be at? And all that good stuff
Sure,
today?
It varies from day to day. Certainly, we're spending some more time in Lauderdale County today. I'll be back over in Leake County about midday, and then over in Hinds County this evening. Tomorrow, we're making stops in 3 counties in the Delta. The next day in the Metro. The day after that, we'll be in Vicksburg and back in Jackson. So we're full every single day, 7 days a week. We're working hard to get the message out. This race is important. It's important that people get the message that we need a constitutional conservative on the court. The people that I visit with are very excited about the opportunity for a new generation of conservative leadership on the court. So, once people get the message, they become excited, and we are just overwhelmed by support.
I have to ask this because I remember driving to the Neshoba County Fair, and I thought, wow, who orchestrated all of those signs with the tractors and trucks? That looked really good.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
We thought it was, an attention getter.
It was.
Yes. So I had a lot of family help with all of the old trucks and whatnot. But
There was a lot of ratchet straps involved in that adventure.
Absolutely. It was a fun time.
But we really did notice that. I don't know if anybody's brought that up to you or not, but I enjoyed the fire out of that.
Thank you.
Jeff, I guess this would be a question that maybe you could answer better. But, we're talking about absentee ballots and going to vote now. If you think you may not be able to make it to poll in person, get that done. But what about mail-in ballots, and how secure are our mail-in ballots?
So this is something that in Mississippi is nowhere near as widespread as it is in other states. So there has to be specific reasons, and you have to have proof of these reasons. If you are physically disabled and you have from a written letterhead from your doctor that you cannot get out of the house, well, then you'll be mailed something. If you're a college student, obviously with our overseas military and dependents of those, so it's something that's not very widespread in Mississippi, unlike the other states. But it's something where you have to have things notarized, you have to have witnesses, you have to sign on lines that you'll see prison time if you try to fake this. But let me tell you something that we passed in Mississippi 2 years ago.
What's that?
That Senator Branning and myself both sponsored. We both wrote, and that was banning ballot harvesting.
Now, what does that mean?
So ballot harvesting, and Odie, you watched 2,000 Mules, so you know a little bit about this.
Definitely.
That is the idea or the process of somebody handling someone else's ballot. So that comes from mailing. We banned that. I sponsored it. Senator Branning sponsored it also. We were co-authors on this. We passed this where basically you had two sides. You had people trying to take advantage of these mail-in ballots, and then you also had people that weren't turning in mail-in ballots because somebody else was handling your ballot for you. So you kind of had it both ways, where you had someone trying to influence someone to vote a certain way. Then also you had someone that may not turn in ballots because maybe they didn't like the way you voted.
Oh.
Well, we banned that in Mississippi. That's no longer here. So we do have a secure form. It's very rare that we have it. Ms. Donna Jill texted me again just now wanting to remind everybody that we do have absentee voting going on right now. It's faster at your precinct than it is to vote absentee. But if you're going to be out of town, check your calendar. Apparently, I couldn't count 3 weeks to 4 weeks earlier. But the week of Thanksgiving is going to be when there's a potential runoff. So check your calendar for then also. And just know that all you need is a government-issued photo ID to vote, and this is the last week to register to vote.
And so is that running through Saturday? Am I right on that?
It goes through Saturday
at noon.
That's
usually.
right. And so that's and then the absentees will go again each business day at the old courthouse. So in between 5th and 6th Street at the old courthouse. Absentee voting will go from 8 to 5, and then the last 2 Saturdays from 8 to noon.
Okay.
That is good. Good to know that we're not just sitting here mass mailing a bunch of ballots out to anybody who's out there, and people can get their hands on them.
I'm really proud of the Twin States. You take Alabama and Mississippi. We are we're the last of the Mohicans. If you look at all the other states, they have massive early voting, massive mail-in ballots. I don't like that. I like the institution of election day voting. I don't like election season. I like election day.
I'm for get out and go vote at your voting precinct.
That's right. And I'm for you being informed to vote. So if all you know is Trump, then get out there and vote for Trump and skip the rest. But there's no excuse for you to skip the rest, because I'm telling you right now, do not skip the Supreme Court race. Jennifer Branning is who we need in there. The audience listening to us right now thinks more like Senator Branning than any of the other 4 candidates on the ballot. I can guarantee that.
There we go. More coming up as we move along this early morning. Already 7:56. We'll be right back. Birthdays, and also going to tell you about a set of keys that were lost this weekend. As the seasons change, so do your clothes. And Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve. Also Hulk shirts. And America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. Welcome back. Your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. And let me pull this up, because we lost a legend over the weekend. Chris Christopherson, dead at the age of 88. I didn't realize that Chris was living in Hawaii when he passed away. Sad. He was just such a pioneer in country music, from the movie Convoy.
Oh, that was a good movie.
The Rubber Duck. And then moving back to how he got his start, where Johnny Cash refused to record because he'd made friends. He was just a janitor, if you'll remember, back in the day. And they told him that he could no longer sit in sessions, and Johnny goes, well, I'm not recording the album. And he sat there until they brought Chris back. It all started because Chris flew that helicopter to Johnny's house with that song, Sunday Morning Coming Down. And boy, that changed America.
And there it went.
Whew. Gives you chills thinking about what the man done. And he's just written hit after hit after hit. Now, again, was Chris one of the most greatest voices? No. But I'll give him credit on this. Ain't nobody ever matched him when he sang, Why Me, Lord? What did I ever do? And a song, if you'll go back and listen to him in the interview about how that song came about, how God moved him to walk forward and be saved. He didn't know he was doing. He said he felt like something just moved him spiritually, and he didn't know he was walking.
Yeah, that Holy Spirit picked him up.
But a Christian fellow. He was, of course, in, what was that big movie with Barbara Streisand?
Well, if it had her in it, I didn't watch it.
A Star is Born. I mean, you got to act. That's major acting there, to be able to act like you like her.
Oh, yeah, that's why
Think about that. He deserved the Emmy for that.
Barbara what? No.
She was tough there. You got some birthdays for us there?
Yeah, we got some birthdays to bring up in here. Let's see. Saturday, Ray Pickard. And he's
Mr.
probably
Ray.
watching. So good morning and happy late birthday Saturday, Ray. Saturday also for David Calvert. Sunday, yesterday, Diane Solly had a birthday. No wonder the old sheriff was going on a trip, taking her out for a big birthday. Stephanie Blackwell had a birthday yesterday, along with Bill Elliott, Kevin Bounds, Sindel Graham, and Chad Allen had a birthday yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah. And then, so today, Tammy Carlisle is 54 years old. Clint Earnhardt, 48. Joey Vaughn, 58. Floyd Hurt, out there in Russell.
That's right.
He's 69. Esther Thompson had her 80th birthday yesterday, and Teresa Minor's got a birthday today.
Take Clint off the list. He doesn't need a.
He doesn't need it.
He's fine. He's okay.
he doesn't need it.
Well, those birthdays just keep coming whether you like it or not.
Randy Skipper
And if
had
they-
a birthday Saturday.
If they quit, it ain't good news for you. We just want to warn you there.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy, time flies. In closing, anything that you want to remind people about getting out November?
Sure. So November the 5th is the election, and in my opinion, one of the most important judicial races that we have had in Mississippi for the Mississippi Supreme Court. If you qualified to vote absentee, if you're over the age of 65 or will be out of town on Election Day, we encourage you to go to your circuit clerk's office. Go ahead and take care of that. Please get out and vote. It is important. The future of our state depends on it.
Jennifer Branning, of course, running for the Supreme Court of Mississippi. Jeff Tate, your senator, in with us this morning to talk about all these great elections that are coming up. Make sure to vote. Make sure it counts. Odie?
This is an 8-year commitment. So we got to have the right person in there. 8 years.
Yeah,
right.
let me say something. With it being an 8-year term, a lot of talk about the presidential candidates and their age and can they be fit. I can tell you right now, what you have is a great mix of youth and experience. So she's been practicing law for over 20 years in Philadelphia. She knows her stuff, but at the same time, this is a long-term commitment. And again, I ask people to be informed. If you don't know the age of the other candidates, check into that because that's important.
81 is the current guy, 81 years old. So that means he's going to be there till he's 89. Do we really feel like someone 86, 7, 8, 89 years
making
old
very important decisions, mind you.
Yeah.
And it's not like the board of supervisors where you're leaning on 5. In other words, a lot of these decisions start out with 3 of them, and then it turns out to 9 of them. So even in the state legislature where you have 122 House members or 52 senators where 1 or 2 votes, you don't have to worry, it can be watered down, if you will. This is very important. So to have... we need somebody that has experience, but we also need somebody that can be there for the long haul. And again, we need a conservative in there. All 3 boxes are checked with Senator Branning.
Thank you, Jeff. And I tell people the length of the term is 2,920 days in office.
You've done some
That's an
counting.
8-year term. And so, the way I feel about this, I've got the experience, the energy, and the work ethic to do a very good job for the people of Mississippi. So I'm ready to go to work.
Thank y'all for coming in and spending time with us this morning. We really appreciate that
Thank
so
you
much.
for the invitation.
Yeah.
Jennifer Branning there with us as she heads toward the Supreme Court. Good luck with that. Odie, we're getting ready to leave, so we need a Bible verse to keep us straight. What you got to tell us today?
Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13 says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." Bringing God into your life will change your life and will give you the peace that you could have never had any other way. And the best way to serve God is he gave us the rules. He gave us 10 commandments, and they are easy and they are the keystone to living a great life. When you do that, you'll spend everlasting life with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Bring him into your heart today. Ask him to forgive you of your sins. I have to do it every single day because I know I fall short of the glory of God. But we serve a God that is always forgiving. And he will change your life and bring you in for the better. All you got to do is ask him to come back into our lives and our state and our county and our government. He can lead us the right way. Hope you have a wonderful day.
I was just going to say, boy, if you was waiting to get out of church there to go get that fried chicken,
Hey, I can't help
do
it.
not ask Odie to do the closing
I'm
prayer.
Methodist and I can pray good too. But hey, enjoy your day. Remember that we love you.